Last week, I made a video on James. No, not me James, but pushy controlling weirdo James from Love Island USA Season 2. We went over James's love bombing, his uncomfortable way of sexually pressuring his partner, and the video ended with James completely crashing out after his partner went on a date with another guy.
Is that what you want with him? You know what I'm saying? Is this going to be your new friend or relationship thing with including, who I am and how I am towards you and how I feel for you? And I'm going to be talking to this dude, trying to win you over? Is that what you're saying? I'm not putting any pressure on you.
But as if all that wasn't bad enough, it isn't until James's romantic rival Calvin returns to the villa that James's fake nice guy act completely falls apart. That's what we'll be covering in today's video, so let's get into it. If you already watched my first video on James and want to jump straight to the new stuff, then you can go to the timestamp you see here on screen. But if you haven't seen that video or just need a refresher, let me catch you up to speed. Love Island USA is a reality dating show where a bunch of hot young people get locked together in a villa to find love. Periodically, contestants are forced to recommit to each other in what's called a recoupling ceremony, with the single people getting kicked off the show, new contestants being introduced to shake things up, all in an effort to survive the longest and win a cash prize. And it's on this show where we meet James, an energetic, tattooed-up personal trainer from Orlando, Florida, who definitely isn't my evil twin. I swear guys, we look nothing alike, okay? While James initially wasn't chosen by any of the female cast, he decided to couple up with a woman named Moira, whom he immediately started love bombing. He showered her with compliments, gave her all the attention in the world.
You're like the realest here. I like your lips. Like I already know you. You're so wow.
And partially due to that, Jamoira, as they came to be known, quickly became one of the show's most established couples. However, things took a turn between the two of them when Moira tried telling James she was uncomfortable with how quickly they were proceeding sexually. James handled this extremely poorly, repeatedly ignoring Moira's concerns, and instead pressured Moira to hurry up already and give him what he wants eventually. This already made James look like a total creep. However, it wasn't until Moira was asked out on a date by a guy named Calvin, a new cast member nobody had met yet, that James's fake nice guy act truly came crashing down. James completely freaked out, seeing this as not only an existential threat to his relationship, but also to all of his love bombing efforts.
I work so hard for her to like me.
Seemingly completely oblivious to the fact he's on a competitive dating show, somehow forgetting he only met Moira less than a week ago, and finally, as Moira returned to the villa and told James her date went well, James went full wacko mode, barraging Moira with 1,000 questions interrogation style, and yet another example of James being incredibly pushy, insecure, and demanding around his partner's physical and emotional boundaries.
Honestly, I don't really like your attitude right now.
What are you talking about? I'm not putting any pressure on you.
It's stressing me out.
For what? I'm not coming at you at all.
Yes, you are.
How?
This is where today's story begins, just after that discussion, and right before rival Calvin arrives to the villa. Part 4. James's jealous meltdown. After Moira asked James to stop being so pushy and give her some damn space, James goes to mutual friend Mackenzie to talk about what happened. He tells her how worried he is, how because Moira had a good date, that must mean that James is getting dumped.
My conclusion when she told me that was, okay, am I gonna compete with this dude? Like, you're gonna stop progressing the relationship that we're having?
No, it's the healthiest attitude to have for a dating show, and Mackenzie gives him some good advice.
The biggest mistake you can make is changing your behavior because you're concerned about what's going to happen, because that will push her away.
And tells him that it doesn't matter if Brad fucking Pitt walks through those doors, you have to be confident and be yourself. Good advice, no doubt. However, James may have taken that advice a little too far. Later that night, newcomers Caleb, he's cool but we don't care about him, and romantic rival Calvin arrived to the villa for the first time. And oddly, out of everyone at the villa, it's James that jumps up to meet them first.
What's up, what's up? What's up, man?
I'm James, man.
I'm Caleb.
Hey, nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you,
hey,
too.
How's it going, man? Calvin, nice to meet you, man. I like that shirt, bro.
Thank you.
Might have to rock it. Hey, good to see you, man.
So you're telling me, after everything we just saw with him and Moira just a few minutes ago, now, after both Moira and Mackenzie told him to chill, that suddenly James is now super cool and unbothered? I'm not buying that. I think James is so scared of Moira rejecting him, and so scared of coming off insecure and clingy, that James is now overcompensating by being extra positive and friendly with the new guys, in a desperate attempt to prove to everyone just how not weird he is. And it gets even worse. After that forced introduction, the new guys sit down, and the rest of the cast gather around to get to know the new guys. The vibe is very friendly. There's no chest puffing or I'm gonna steal your girl, so you guys better watch out. There's really none of that romantic rivalry going on. These are just new roommates that everyone's excited to meet. Especially James, who somehow continuously finds ways to insert himself and his toxic positivity.
Getting to know everyone, you know, be open, honest with everyone.
Like I said, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be
good
great.
stuff.
Fun.
I'm
They're very
excited.
sweet.
Yeah.
Are you guys tired? I mean, I know we're kind of exhausted, but I mean, we can stay up and chat if you want.
I'm down to kick it.
We can show you around. I don't know if you want to stay here.
Is there like bedtimes here? Like, what's going on?
See what I mean? There's being friendly to new people, there's not being weird about a romantic rival, and then there's whatever the hell this is. Hey guys, my name's Calvin. Good to meet you all, you know. Oh wow, Calvin, bro, so good to meet you, bro. That's such a cool name. You know, I got a cousin named Calvin. He's like, what, such a great guy like you and super handsome and smart and buff. I mean, just like you. You see how not weird I am, Moira? You see how totally normal and not pushy I am? You see? Not only is that just a bad performance that's incredibly unconvincing, the fact he thinks he's coming off naturally here while being so obvious about it is actually kind of scary. Like, bro, we just saw you flip out at Moira. We know you're not this chill. And for James to not realize that, it makes you wonder just how delusional James really is. And it gets so much worse.
Two good people, you know. They seem right. They seem chill, bro. Hey,
What?
they seem pretty cool, huh? Yeah, they're nice. Why are you? What's going on? I'm just trying to talk to you for a sec. Like, your thoughts? They're cool, right?
I do want to get a tour.
What are you?
Yeah. Is it scary yet? After all that song and dance, still needing to turn to Moira and go, wow, they're so cool. Aren't they great? You know, the guy you just went on a date with that you kind of like, that's my romantic rival that I'm super jealous and insecure about you being with him and leaving me about. He's just so cool, isn't he? But as ridiculous as it looks, when you're stuck with a guy like James who seems so detached from reality, then you kind of have to walk on eggshells not knowing when they're gonna snap. And of course, James continues.
What are you? Why are you changing? Are you okay? You fine? I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're doing okay.
It's just so painful. The constant questions again, the forced laughter when he asks, why are you changing on me? He literally says, ha ha, why are you changing on me? Ha ha, are you fine? I'm having fun. Ha ha. Even him saying he's having fun. The only reason James would say this right now is because he knows Moira's upset at how weird he's been and is desperately trying and failing to convince her otherwise. Buddy, the jig is up. Now, in James's defense, sort of, I suspect Moira's dismissiveness here, like looking away or not responding, is actually triggering James's very anxious attachment style to get even worse. And to be real for a moment, if you've ever found yourself in a dynamic similar to this, whether you've been a Moira or a James in this situation, I highly recommend you look into the pursuer-distancer dynamic. A relationship dynamic where one person, the pursuer, tries to ease their emotional discomfort by getting closer to their partner, while the other person, the distancer, wants more space and autonomy. That creates a negative feedback loop, where the more the pursuer pursues, the more the distancer distances, which makes the pursuer pursue more, and on and on. And I'll leave some helpful links in the pinned comment below for you to check out. Obviously, that's more advice for people that are in relationships, and not with someone you're love bombing and only met a few days ago. But still, great to know, check it out. And getting back to the show, Moira has had enough. She tries telling James to lay off, and this is where James's nice guy act abruptly ends.
How you doing? Got the Moses? Okay.
Oh, always.
I know.
Yeah, she said.
Maybe both of them? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you said.
I literally can't right now. I like actually.
What's her problem? What's your problem?
You see that? That is the mask falling. First, he went full wacko mode, emotionally dumping on Moira. When that didn't work, he pulled a complete 180, pretending he wasn't insecure at all. When that didn't work, he reverted back to wacko mode, not just emotionally crowding her this time, but also physically. And when that didn't work, 3 strikes are out, James's anger comes out. This reaction from James obviously makes everyone very uncomfortable, and we see both the guys and the girls try to quietly diffuse the situation, while James only gets more mad.
Like, listen to him.
What is she doing?
Come on, James.
You just made
Okay,
a
my
whole
actual
deal.
one is off.
Girl,
talk without James. I'm just kidding. I love your
Makes
girl
no
talk.
sense.
I
Makes
love your
no
girl
sense.
talk.
So confusing.
Okay, I'm gonna-
You guys want drama? I'll show you drama.
Oh, so we're threatening now. This is such a fake nice guy thing to do. These guys present to themselves and the world like they're above their more base emotions. Whether it's insecurity or anger or sexual desire like we saw last video, they want people to believe that every other guy is jealous and controlling and doesn't respect your boundaries. But me? No, you're safe with me. I'm just not like that. I'm one of the good ones. But all that's an act. They do have bad bones in their body. They can hurt a fly, just like anyone. But in their quest to convince themselves and the world that they're a nice guy, they deny that these emotions exist inside them, and therefore, ironically, have even less control over them when they do come out. Self-denial is not the way to enlightenment, James. The goal is not to be a completely pathetic loser that never has any negative emotions because they deny their existence. The point of growing up and becoming a self-fulfilling adult is to integrate all of these more negative parts of yourself and have mastery over them. You can be anxious about your relationship status with Moira. You can feel insecure that she went out on a date with another guy. And when Calvin comes into the villa, nobody is expecting you to be best friends with him. You can still have all of your more negative and insecure emotions and own it in a way that's healthy. And the more you run away from these negative emotions, the more, as we see, your life is dominated by them. Went on a bit of a philosophical rant there, but if you like my insights and the way I cover these people, then considering subscribing to the channel. Anyway, back to the show. James threatens everyone that if they want drama, he'll give them drama, and James continues to vent his frustration to the guys.
Yo, bro, there's something wrong with the girl that you chose, bro. There's something wrong with her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. This is ridiculous. Makes no sense. I'm not about this, man.
Seems like most of the guys are trying to de-escalate the situation by laughing it off, but one guy in particular, Trey, tries to snap James out of it.
Nah, man, I was just trying to hang out. Cool, I got you. I was just like, hey, they're cool, they're nice. No, she's being, I'm not even doing anything. She was saying, chill the f out when I was chill.
If you could write a book on like what not to do, James did that.
James continues to be upset the rest of the night, while Moira is beginning to realize James's true colors.
James has showed his true colors to me, and that's a him problem.
However, to his credit, he does wake up the next day realizing he went a bit too far.
Last night it was kind of, nerve-wracking and a lot of emotion. I know I'm high energy and I'm all about her, but I need to take a step back.
Now, I didn't actually hear an apology there. The bar is so low at this point, I think we're tripping over it. But what's more interesting about this is, although we don't see it on screen, James would later claim in an interview he did after getting kicked off the show that at some point this morning, he apologized to Moira for freaking out last night. Which, honestly, I have to laugh at because although he ends up saying this in an attempt to defend himself, as we'll soon find out, it actually kind of makes him look worse. The next scene we see with James at least comes later that same day, where James is hoping to repair his relationship with Moira, but unfortunately, as we should come to expect by now, James only succeeds in making it 10 times worse. Part 5. Oh my god, James is such a freaking gaslighter. James starts off this very serious conversation with a very lighthearted attitude. James gives her a hug, he offers her a high five, which immediately gets rejected.
You want to talk to me about life?
I'm working through some things.
While Moira's mood is a bit more somber, still processing everything that happened. She says last night was a lot and she just can't forget everything immediately, and this is how James responds.
I can't just forget things happen and forget the way I feel and
But nothing happened. I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh man, this guy is so insufferable. What do you mean you didn't do anything wrong? He just told us that last night was emotional and he needed to calm down. He tells us later that he apologized to Moira before this and we just didn't see it. But now, when called out, he says nothing happened and he didn't do anything wrong. Which one is it, James? But if you're thinking that this was just a slip of the tongue from James, no, he doubles down.
Wrong. We both handled it in a different way. I don't know why it's all on me, you're saying, and then you don't want to, is it forgiving? I don't know, there's nothing to forgive. Nothing happened. I don't know what you're thinking.
Oh my god. Do you see now why I've been dying to make a video on this guy for the past 5 years? Now, if we're being real charitable to James here, there was 3 possible conclusions. Either he's completely delusional, and this is all one massive attempt at coping. Option 2 is this is some of the worst gaslighting I've ever seen. Or option 3, they're actually talking about something entirely different than James's reaction last night, and that context was cut out to make it seem like James is being more unreasonable here than he really is. Delusional, gaslighting, or misrepresented. Those are your 3 options. Go ahead, cast your vote. Decide which one you think is more likely. When I first watched this, although we've seen everything else from James, I want to see the best in people. I assumed number 3, that this was somehow misrepresented. And while that still could be the case somehow, this is what James follows up with.
You make me so confused sometimes. I don't know.
You're getting like defensive is the thing.
You said that last night. I was asking how your date was, and you were like, calm down. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just hanging out trying to talk to you.
Yeah, it wasn't number 3. This is just a flat out lie. I don't know to what extent he believes any of this, if he's desperately trying to convince Moira that he did nothing wrong to gaslight her into taking him back, or if he's also gaslighting himself into thinking he did nothing wrong because he's so desperate and insecure that he's incapable of allowing himself to feel like he's done something to lead to him getting rejected. But whichever it is, James is full of shit. Moira responds by very calmly trying to say that she feels like she wasn't really given a chance by James last night to figure out what she felt and process her feelings.
You didn't give me a chance to have my feelings. You were just kind of like expecting me to comfort you.
Wait a minute. James not giving a shit about your feelings and demanding you comfort him instead? Where have I heard that before?
I think it's just still too soon for me.
But you still want to get there, right?
I don't know.
Moira tries explaining to James how he's getting defensive, and James responds by, you guessed it, getting more defensive.
Comfort you and like tell you everything that had happened, and I just wasn't in a good place.
I was in the same place as Carrington and Kirsten, and he did the same thing. I didn't want to bombard. I just went, hey, how was your night? Okay, cool. Is it going to be different between us? And obviously it is.
For context, if you recall from the previous video, it wasn't just Moira that was asked out on a date with the new guy. It was also a woman named Kirsten, who at the time was coupled up with a guy named Carrington, the guy that patted James on the butt earlier, trying to get James to leave Moira alone.
What is she doing?
Come on, James.
James is trying to defend himself here by saying that Carrington was in the exact same position I was, and he reacted the exact same way. Therefore, what I did wasn't bad. Kind of a flawed argument inherently, because 2 people are capable of doing a wrong thing just because someone else also has a bad response doesn't somehow justify your bad response. But what makes this defense even more pathetic from James is that wasn't how Carrington responded at all. In fact, Kirsten wasn't just asked out on a date by Caleb, the other newcomer, she was also asked out by Calvin right afterwards. Remember from last video, Moira returned to the villa alone because everyone else went on second dates? Kirsten was asked out twice. So Carrington had even more reason to be concerned from the exact same guy as James even, but his response couldn't have been more different. He essentially said that although it sucks and he's a little worried about it, he felt like he and Kirsten have developed such a strong connection at this point that even if she had a really good date with one of the new guys, he still felt confident in his chances of remaining coupled up with Kirsten. He was super chill about the whole thing. He even laughed at how ridiculous it was that Kirsten got asked out twice.
I'm taking your girl Kirsten on a date. Wait, what? So she's going on 2 dates. At this point, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Have fun wasting your time because she's coming back home with me.
So again, with this stupid defense from James.
I was in the same place as Carrington and Kirsten, and he did the same thing.
Is he just gaslighting to trick Moira? Or does he actually believe this shit? Moira ignores his defensiveness this time and says again that she's still upset about last night, needs some more space and time to figure things out, even says that she's trying to get over it.
And I'm trying to like get over it.
And James responds by laughing at her.
But I just need a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Please don't laugh in my face when I'm trying to tell you how I'm really feeling.
You're not even looking at me. You're funny. You're something else. I mean...
it's just so bad. You see the flipping there again? In the beginning of the conversation, it's all, I didn't do anything wrong. What do you mean? Everything is actually great, haha. That's delusional world. And now, again, when he's called out for something, now he gets all rude and condescending. Just like what we saw earlier when the new guys arrived. Hang out in Delulu land, where you pretend everything is fine, and when reality comes a knockin', react with hostility. Entitlement and delusion, and resentful reality. Not only the 2 sides of fake nice guys, but also, if you notice a pattern, the two sides of incel thinking. Very interesting to think about there. James tries again flipping things on Moira, saying that actually you're the one doing everything wrong. I'm completely innocent.
I don't even know anymore.
Okay, if that's how you feel.
You're the one that's giving me the shade. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Moira tries telling him again that he's being defensive and that if he really cared about her, he would give her the space that she's been asking for. And again, James turns it on her.
If you did respect me and really like me, you would just say okay and give it to me.
I have been. I mean, you want to ignore me? Cool. You want to just like walk around and not talk to me? Oh, we're trying to have a conversation. You don't like initiate any conversation. You can't even look at me.
Oh my God. All she did was ask for space. She didn't say she'll never talk to you again. She's not saying you should go die now. She just asked for space after you flipped out on her less than 24 hours ago. That's a completely reasonable thing to want, and yet he makes her out to be the bad guy. Total manipulation. Honestly, this is so textbook pursuer distancer that I just wish more people like James knew about it. If you actually pay attention to what he said, it's no coincidence that his argument is, you don't want to talk to me, you can't even look at me. James is insecure and goes crazy, which makes Moira pull back emotionally, which in turn makes James even more insecure and get even crazier. Now, obviously, I'm not saying this is all Moira's fault. It's not. I just can't help but wonder how much of this mess could have been prevented if James had more self-awareness around his emotions. Put more harshly, if James has a habit of trying to make his partners feel guilty for having very basic human emotions and boundaries, then James is in some very bad company and maybe should get some professional help before he talks to any woman ever again. At this point, Moira has reached her limit. She calls off this conversation, gets up from the couch. James seems to mutter under his breath, "You'll never feel like talking to me," essentially accusing Moira of using this whole stupid "you want space and you have boundaries" bullshit as a covert way of actually rejecting him and not a reflect of her own genuine desires. Very self-centered and absurd, but does make sense within that pursuer-distancer dynamic again. And Moira leaves the conversation in tears.
I told you I just want a little space. Sheesh.
All right, perfect.
I just want to go home.
Absolutely ridiculous. This whole conversation, this entire ordeal around Calvin the last 24 hours, all Moira wanted was some space. You know that, I know that, everyone else at the villa knows that, and yet James still manages to think that Moira is the crazy one. But while James is already in the running for world's most delusional man, in my final video on James next week, we'll see James in his final form. Running around the villa, talking shit about Moira behind her back, his insane excuse for why he gets kicked off the show, and as we'll see from an interview he did after his time on the show, it seems like James's delusion, unfortunately, may be even worse in real life.
I'm done with her. She can't talk to me like that. She thinks I'm some peasant.
Why am I the bad guy here?
Stop shifting it onto her. This is about your actions and what you are doing.
I didn't even say
Stop. You're not even saying anything. You're coming around like ranting about it to everybody. I cannot.
That's all I got for today's video. Thank you so much for all the amazing, crazy support the last few weeks. After taking 6 weeks off for health and life reasons, coming back to YouTube and getting over 1 million views in a month for the first time is absolutely insane to me, and I hope I can continue to earn all of your support. A big thank you to all of you channel members, and if you'd like to see these videos early as soon as I'm done with them and not have to wait until I post, then feel free to hit the join button and become a channel member below. Also hit subscribe and hit like and do all the things I'm supposed to tell you to do. And until next time, happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you in the next one.